At the moment Nanako expressed his attitude to Charlie, Honor had already begun to plan to leave Japan as soon as possible. He knew that as long as the Ito family intervened, he would be exposed soon. If at the moment of exposure, if you are still in Japan, you basically don't have to want to go back alive. Because he knew that Charlie would definitely not let him go. The only way at the moment is to leave Japan and get rid of the old man before he is exposed, and take over the entire Song family completely. As long as he can take over all the assets of the Song family, he can break away from Charlie. After all, the Song family's assets of 1 or 200 billion cannot be resisted by Charlie, a so-called master. Seeing Honor next to him, Charlie looked a little restless, and deliberately asked, "Honor, how come you look absent? Is there any physical discomfort?" Honor hurriedly waved his hand and said, "No, master, I'm just a little worried about Warnya. She has been missing all night. I am afraid that the more delay, the less chance of her survival." Charlie looked at him and said seriously, "Don't worry, as long as I am here, Warnya will never die." Honor pretended to be pleased and said, "That's great. Master, it's all up to you if you can find Warnya." When he said this, Honor's heart was viciously cursed. "Even if Warnya is really alive, I will definitely kill her. Even if you Charlie stand in front of me, it's useless. As long as I Song the Honor is, Warnya is not allowed to live, she must die." At this time, Charlie said, "If you are honored, go back to the hotel first, and look for Warnya's affairs. You don't have to intervene. Stay in the hotel and wait for my good news." Honor was a little surprised at once, and thought to himself, "What do you mean? He sent dozens of helicopters to pick me up, and just said a few words, let me go? A phone call or even a WeChat can solve it, so why bother?" However, although Honor was puzzled, he didn't dare to have any disobedience. He hurriedly stood up and said seriously, "Master, since this is the case, then I will leave first." Charlie nodded and said, "Don't run around in Tokyo these days, just stay in the hotel and wait for my news." Honor quickly said, "Okay master, I will be waiting for your news at the hotel these few days." Nanako spoke at this time. "Since Mr. Song is going back to the hotel, I will let the helicopter take you back." Honor said flatteredly, "Ms. Ito is really too polite. It's not far from the hotel. I can just go out and take a taxi. I won't bother you to arrange a helicopter." Nanako said earnestly, "Mr. Song is master's guest, and that is the distinguished guest of my Ito family. The Ito family has never allowed the distinguished guests to take a taxi and leave by themselves, so I should ask Mr. Song to return by helicopter." Honor nodded, and said with a little embarrassment, "Miss Ito, it's okay to go back by helicopter, but you really don't need to send so many helicopters. It's too wasteful, one is enough." Nanako smiled slightly. "Mr. Song doesn't have to be so polite. The reason why so many helicopters are sent to pick you up together is also because the Ito family attaches great importance to distinguished guests." Honor had no choice but to say, "Then I will follow Miss Ito's arrangement." Nanako nodded, looked at her assistant and asked her to send Honor. As soon as Honor left, Nanako hurriedly said to Charlie, "Master, your intuition is really accurate. After meeting, I also think there is a problem with Honor." Charlie said coldly, "As long as people with a guilty conscience, no matter how strong their psychological quality is, they will definitely expose some flaws. Honor will obviously become nervous after seeing you. This must be because he is afraid of the Ito family. Strength, knowing that once the Ito family intervenes, this matter will surely be revealed, so he must be frightened in his heart." After speaking, Charlie said again, "I think Honor will most likely run away soon after this incident. You must let your ninja watch him closely, and never let him run away." Nanako nodded and said, "Although Master can rest assured, I have already arranged everything. When Honor comes, my ninja has already rushed to the hotel, and they will monitor Honor in all aspects." Charlie smiled with satisfaction and said, "If he has other accomplices, the first thing he does after he returns to the hotel must be to get in touch with his accomplices. Then you must eavesdrop on all his calls to find clues." During the flight back to the hotel, Honor was always a little restless. After such a major change, he himself has lost his backbone, and all hopes are pinned on his father Tianming. He can't wait to contact Tianming and tell him what happened here. However, since he was still sitting on the helicopter of the Ito family, he could only resist this impulse and wait until the hotel. On the way back, dozens of helicopters were still roaring and escorting him. Outsiders seemed to be very aggressive, but they put a lot of pressure on Honor. The strength of the Ito family was undoubtedly revealed in this short flight. According to Nanako's assistant, the Ito General Aviation Company, owned by the Ito family, has taken over 80% of Tokyo's high-rise aprons. Usually, their helicopters do not stop at the airport, but on the top aprons of Tokyo's high-rise buildings. The advantage of this is that once there is any demand, the helicopter closest to the demand location can take off quickly. That's why, when he came here, Ito family helicopters took off from the top of each building. The more the Ito family showed their muscles in front of him like this, the more frightened Honor became. Back at the Amman Hotel, the first thing he did when he entered the room was to immediately take out his mobile phone and call Tianming. At this time, Tianming had just landed in Orus Hill after more than 10 hours of flying. After the call was connected, Honor's first sentence was, "Dad. I will soon be exposed. Neither in Tokyo nor in Japan can I stay for long. I plan to return home quietly tonight. You will also get rid of the old stuff as soon as possible." Tianming was shocked and blurted out and asked, "What's the matter?" "What happened?" Honor said in a crying voice, "It's Charlie. That guy is too damn strong. Dad, you can't imagine that Japan's largest Ito family completely treats him as their father." Charlie said to look for Warnya. The Ito family immediately stated that everyone in the family can be dispatched by him. "I don't know what the hell this Charlie has. Do these people have brain problems or what? It's beyond my comprehension."